No one can make an intelligent decision without being properly informed. This is why this world wants to control the media. This is why media hype can take you up, take you down. So you don't know anymore who's really good, because the media can make a wicked man look good and make a good man look evil. That is why
until the dawn. I can't quit. I'm like Saddam, keeping my eye on Clinton, watching each movie he makes. Cause every slither he takes sort of reminds.
In your mind, you think that I said a few words, but this man will say more. He will say things that will make you see the light and the truth that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan wants us to know. And this man I am talking about is the representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I bring before you, with a round of applause, our student minister here in the Nation of Islam in Denver, Colorado. I bring you Herman Muhammad.
Man, that's an intro. Praise be to Allah. In the most holy name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. As students of religion, as citizens of this wonderful planet that we call Earth, we thank Allah for each and every one of his worthy servants, prophets, messengers, great ones. We thank Allah for each of the messages that they brought, and we don't make any distinction between any of them. So we thank Allah for Moses and Aaron and the Israelite prophets and the divine revelation of the Torah or the Old Testament. We thank Allah for Jesus and his disciples and the divine revelation of the Injil or the New Testament, the Gospel. We thank Allah for Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah of 1400 years ago and the divine revelation of the Holy Quran. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of these worthy servants of his. As students of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we can never thank Allah enough for his divine intervention in our affairs. In the divine person of Master Fard Muhammad, the great Mahdi, to the whole world has been waiting on. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
We thank him for coming 9,000 miles to seek and to save that which was lost, which was you and me, right?
Yes, sir.
And for raising one from amongst us, a Georgia-born black man who only went to the 3rd or the 4th grade of school, but of course has become the most powerful human being to ever walk the planet besides God himself, and that is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We thank both of them for leaving in our midst a reminder that God is present.
Yes, sir.
He's present and in the world today. That one whom I'm speaking of is a beautiful, beautiful black man who I'm striving my best to represent to you today. He is the leader in the absence of the leader, the teacher in the absence of the teacher, the guide in the absence of the guide. He is the one who's grown all up into his teacher.
That's right. Go ahead.
He is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And it is in their names that we greet you in our nation's greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
How is everyone feeling?
Fine, sir.
Praise be to Allah. I too am doing fine, striving to make my word my bond. Now, before we get into what we're going to get into, we just want to make our disclaimer. We always have to make our disclaimer, right? Because we want to state our intention. And the reason being is we should always whenever we do something in the way of God, we should always state our intention. We do it during our prayer services.
Yes, sir.
Right? Before we make our salat, we say, I intend
Yes.
to do how many rakahs of the
Yep.
obligatory part of this
Yep.
particular prayer. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So we always want to state our intention. And ours is not to make mockery nor to entertain, but we want to educate, to elevate, to enlighten, to inspire, to give you something, of course, that you can use. And if we do so, all praise is due to Allah. If we fail, all that blame belongs to me. I'll take it. I just got to do better. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Praise
sir.
be to Allah. For all of our, you see the flyer with the meeting times, but for all of our, anything Nation of Islam related, we want to go to noi.org. To subscribe to the Final Call, you want to go to finalcalldigital.com and get that digital edition of the Final Call newspaper. To get anything local, you want to go to noidenver.org, where we keep all of our, I try my best to keep the site updated, praise be to Allah. But for all of that information, go to those sites. We want to make sure that everyone gets the latest edition of the Final Call newspaper. Man, beautiful, beautiful newspaper. Hip Hop at 50. Where else do you see a headline like that?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Nowhere, right?
Right.
And the Final Call is the most widely circulated black-owned and operated publication in the world, and absolutely is the communications organ for the Nation of Islam. So if you hear or see anything written or said about the Nation of Islam, don't stop there, because that may be an enemy. It
Facts.
usually
Yeah,
is.
that's
Yes,
right.
sir. Yes, sir.
But go to the Final Call newspaper to find out what exactly is going on, all right? Now, our subject today is very timely, and man, I hope and pray that we can get it over in the way that we intend, but it's extremely important. The subject is entitled, The Law of Cause and Effect.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
The law of cause and effect. Now, I was contemplating how to come after this particular subject, and the thing that came to my mind was the fact that this law of cause and effect is essential to your and my growth, or your and my becoming what it is that Allah wants us to be. Okay? And the reason being is because when we were brought here, we were completely robbed,
Totally. Yes,
of
sir.
the knowledge of self.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. Sure.
But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that the knowledge of self is a prerequisite knowledge. Prerequisite means that you have to have the knowledge of self before you can ever learn any other knowledge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm going to say that again.
Yeah, go ahead.
You have to have the knowledge of yourself before you can ever learn truly any other knowledge. Because if you don't have the knowledge of self, then any other knowledge is totally irrelevant, because you're not operating from the basis of truth.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Facts.
You can't move properly based on information that is false. Is that right? If someone, man, look, if you're operating off of the basis of a lie,
My God.
then any move that you make is going to be flawed.
Yeah, go
Any
ahead.
move that you make, you're going to end up in a place that you don't want to be, because you're moving off of the basis of a lie.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I say, where you live, Brother Herman, how do you get to your house? And I tell you, well, I live in Thornton, right? All you got to do is get on I-70, and head west and then go south to Thornton, and you can get to my house. But you don't know that I actually lied to you. I don't live in Thornton, I live in Aurora.
Right.
If you move based upon that information, you're going to end up in the wrong place. Is that right?
Yes.
You're going to end up somewhere where you don't need to be.
Yes, sir.
So that knowledge of self is a prerequisite knowledge. You got to know who you are. And when the enemy, of course, brought us over here, he robbed us totally of who we are.
Right.
Instead of being the kings and the queens and the gods of the planet, he reduced us to niggas, Negroes, colored folks.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, go ahead.
He totally reduced us. So anything else that he gave us on top of that, we were going in the wrong direction. And by giving us that wrong information about who we were, he actually robbed us the knowledge of all mathematical theology.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I mean, I want y'all to think about this. If we're completely robbed and we don't know who we are,
Right.
he tells us that we're a slave instead of, like I said, a king or a queen or a god that came from the mother of all countries. Now you're thinking that you're chattel, that you're property, that you don't have no rights at all. Then he can tell you pretty much anything. Once he's got you in that condition. Is that right? So you're also robbed of the knowledge of cause and effect.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Because now he's teaching you to eat the wrong food.
That's
Yes,
right.
Yes, sir.
So you're eating pig, and you know what I'm saying? You're eating pig foot and pig entrails and pig snout and pig ear sandwiches with, you know what I'm saying, white bread and mustard.
Yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
Sprinkle some hot sauce on it. But you don't know that the end result, the effect of that cause is death.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Yes.
So we're running around here. Many of us don't know the law of cause and effect.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now we're gonna
Go
go through it
ahead.
now. Now we're gonna start with some words. Let's talk about law, just briefly, just to give us a foundation. A law is a binding custom or practice of a community, a rule of conduct or action prescribed or formally recognized as binding or enforced by a controlling authority. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. That's a law,
Yeah.
right? And the law that we're talking about, this binding custom or practice that is formally, that is prescribed and recognized as binding or enforced by a controlling authority, that law that we talk about is not the law that, was made up when they declared their independence or when they came up with their constitution. But we're talking about a law of God.
Yes, sir. Universal. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
A universal law.
Yes,
These types of laws cannot be broken. Right? You can transgress against a law, but you cannot break it. It still exists,
Yes.
even though you transgress against it.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So this law is set up by God, the law of cause and effect.
Yes.
Cause is a reason for an action or condition. Motive, something that brings about an effect or result. Reason for an action, cause, right? An effect, something that inevitably follows an antecedent, such as a cause or agent. So again, going back to the original definition of law, At the bottom we said for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That is a law. That's the law of cause and effect. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. But if we don't have a proper knowledge of ourselves, again,
Oh, yeah, that's her.
we move in based upon what somebody tells us,
That's right. Yes.
as opposed to what it really is.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
So the enemy has totally destroyed us.
Well, yeah.
And in robbing us of this knowledge of self, he robbed us of the way that things actually work. So we have, man, y'all all right?
Yes.
All praises to Allah. We're going to get through this today. Praise be to Allah.
Yes.
So we have a book of supreme wisdom lessons. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
It's for registered members only. Is
Not,
that right? But we're going to share a little bit today.
Go ahead.
yes, sir.
But the supreme wisdom lessons are really a conversation between the Lord of the worlds, the sovereign of the universe, who is a black man
Praise
named Master Fard Muhammad,
Yes.
and the eternal leader of the nation of Islam, the exalted Christ who sits at his right hand right now, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And these lessons are designed to teach us, listen, the law of cause and effect.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
To teach us to think more mathematically.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because when the devil robbed us of the knowledge of self, he taught us to think in a very spooky way.
Yes, sir.
So we'll ride down the street, right? And if a black cat crosses the street,
Uh-oh.
we gonna pump the brakes,
That's right.
turn the other way.
Oh, man.
When we was little babies, you know what I'm saying? You walking down the street going to school, and hey man, you almost stepped on that crack. You know, you step on that crack, you're gonna break your mama's back. The devil to this day, on many of his buildings, skyscrapers, they don't have a 13th floor because the 13th floor is bad luck.
Yeah, Jesus.
So they're teaching us in such a way to where we don't understand the law of cause and effect. If a black cat cross your path, if you know the law of cause and effect, it just cross your path.
Right. That's right.
You just keep on rolling.
Yes.
You can walk up under a ladder.
Break a mirror.
You can break a mirror. 7 years of bad luck is not coming. You can open an umbrella inside, brother. But they taught us to think in a very spooky way. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So the lessons teach us how to think in a mathematical way.
Yes.
So when it rains outside, like it's been raining every day.
Every day.
Man, putting it on this whole creation. If the sun is shining and it's still raining, oh, that must be the devil beating his wife.
Right.
Y'all ever heard that one? Oh man, they did a job on us, brothers and sisters. I swear. But in Lost Found Muslim lesson number 2, question number 8.
What makes rain, hail, snow, and earth?
What makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquake?
Yes, sir.
Just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
In case you didn't know.
Come on with it, brother.
Because most of us, we don't know, right? Answer, the earth is approximately covered underwater, approximately 3/4 of its surface. The sun and moon having attracting power on our planet, while our planet making the terrific speed of 1,037 1/3 miles on its way around the sun. The sun draws this water up into the Earth's rotation, which is called gravitation, in a fine mist that the naked eye can hardly detect. But as this mist ascends higher and increasing with other mists of water in different currents of the atmosphere until when she becomes heavier than gravitation, then she distills back to the earth in the form of drops of water or drops of ice, which depends on how heavy the mist was in the current of the air it was in. Man, there are some layers or currents of air real cold and warm, and some very swift and changeable. So when the water strikes one of these cold currents, it becomes solid ice in small round drops in form, or in a light fluffy form, which is called snow. But this water is not ever drawn above 6 miles from the Earth's surface by the sun and moon. The reason it rains back to our planet is because it cannot get out of the Earth's sphere. With its high speed of rotating around the sun makes it impossible. Man, that's powerful.
Come on with it.
Earthquakes are caused by the Son of Man by experimenting on high explosion. In fact, all the above is caused by the Son of Man. Now, we just said a lot. But what the God and the eternal leader just explained to us in one lesson was this whole system of meteorology.
Yeah, go ahead.
And weather, right? So that we're not spooktified as to how this thing happens. We know how it happens. And all of it is caused by the Son of Man.
Right.
All of it.
Right.
The Son of Man is God, but the Son of Man is also a man.
That's
is that right? Because man is God and God is man.
Go ahead.
But it's teaching us the law of cause and effect.
Yes.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. Going to question number on earthquakes comes from that mystery God, and that no one will ever be able to see until he dies. This is believed by the 85%. The 10% know that when man dies, that he will never come back and tell the living whether he lied or not, because the dead is never known to return from the grave.
That's right.
All the history of Islam never reveals anything that no man had ever been able to come back from a physical death. But there is a chance for mental death, because the lost found was once dead mentally, and many of them revived from it. But they were not physically dead, only mentally dead. So now the God, again, teaching us mathematically, who taught us this?
Yep.
10%.
Go ahead.
10%.
Bloodsuckers of the poor.
Yes, sir.
Devils.
Yes, sir.
Enemies.
Yes, sir.
They taught us this so that they can keep us a slave.
Yes, sir.
So they can keep manipulating us and moving us in a way that was advantageous to them.
Yes, sir.
But meanwhile, we're suffering because we don't know the law of cause and effect.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
They know it, but we don't know it.
Right.
And they know it, and they'll man, they so devilish. They'll do things that they know that the effect is going to be negative even to themselves, just to trick you into doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Real talk.
Go ahead.
Real talk.
Real talk. I mean, that's the devil's nature. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So here we are, not having this knowledge of self. And as long as we don't have that knowledge of self, again, we can never learn the law of cause and effect. But if you know the law of cause and effect and you master the law of cause and effect, which you absolutely can. If you master the law of cause and effect, you can absolutely become the God that Allah intended for you to be.
Yeah.
Are y'all hearing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But here's the thing that I want to say. That I want to say to all of us, and you know, inshallah, man, we might get up into a few people's houses today,
Yes, sir.
including my own. But it's something that we all need.
Yes, sir.
We all need. Because I'm gonna make a statement, and then we're gonna go on to prove it, inshallah. For the most part, every problem that we have, every problem that you have, brother, is your fault.
True.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir. That's what the
Yeah.
Quran
Go
says.
ahead.
Every problem that we have is your fault.
That's right.
Say it.
Take accountability.
Say that.
Come on. That's
Say
right.
that.
Every problem. If we really look at it, there's certain things that happen, you know what I mean, that are outside our control. Happens to our loved ones and whatnot. But if we really look at ourselves, a close examination, everything that we have an issue with is ultimately our fault.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Come on.
But the nature of the human being is to always look outside of self
Go ahead.
That's it. Say it. Yes, sir.
to blame someone, Brother Deontay, for what really is our fault.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Most of the times when we have a brother or a sister that we got a problem with, in truth, most of the time, we see something in that brother or that sister that we don't like about our own selves.
That's right. That's right.
Go ahead.
Come on with
Sir.
it. Break
Yes,
that
sir.
down.
That's just real. As we learn, and I'm going to get back to that, the law of cause and effect. Once we truly learn it, it's very simple. If we move in the cause of God, the effect will be success.
Yes, sir. That's right. Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to say that again.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir. Go ahead.
If we move in the cause of God and what we were taught, the effect will be
Success.
success.
Yes, sir.
Now that's not to say that you won't get a hiccup like the Honorable Herman taught us. You won't get busted in your head. Some of us might even die.
Yes, sir.
But the effect will be success.
Yes, sir.
In the Quran, we're taught that you can tell the believers why. Because they are
The success.
successful.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's a cause, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
You can tell the believers. In Surah 23, 1 and 2, and that surah is actually entitled The Believers. Successful indeed are the believers who are humble in their prayers. Look, that's just the first and the second verses. At the end of Surah 24, verse 31, it says, and turn to Allah, all, O believers, so that you may be successful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Surah 590, I want to read this one to you, because I know Nuggets is about to do their thing.
Yes.
Before they do their thing,
Go nurse.
we gonna have our parlay. on MGM or
Yeah,
Bet 365. One of them. They making gambling a real thing nowadays, brothers and sisters.
Crazy.
Oh, you who believe, gambling or intoxicants and games of chance and sacrificing to stones set up and divided by arrows are only an uncleanness, the devil's work. So shun it that you may succeed. The devil desires only to create enmity and hatred among you by means of intoxicants and games of chance, and to keep you back from the remembrance of Allah and from prayer. Will you then keep back? Listen,
Come on, wait.
I want y'all to just examine that, right? Because successful indeed are the believers who are humble in their prayers. So we break that down, the law of cause and effect. If you are humble in your prayers and you are a believer, that's the cause. Right? The effect will be you'll be successful.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you turn to Allah, all believers, you'll be successful.
That's right.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
But if you engage in gambling and intoxicants, right? It's going to turn you away. You definitely not going to be praying. Well, you might be praying, please hit that 3-point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gambling with God.
But it's going to turn you away from Allah. And usually, man, you lose. You know what I mean? You going to lose.
Every time.
It's designed for you to lose.
That's right.
Man, the devil don't open a business unless he going to make some money.
That's right.
Say it, sir. Say it, sir.
You think I'm going to cut hair all day and at the end of the day not get paid for cutting your hair? The devil's the same thing with this Bet 365 and MGM and Caesars. You know what I mean? All them.
Yeah.
They getting paid. Big time.
Billions of dollars.
Billions.
Yeah.
And the NBA, like I said, they said the Super Bowl, they gambled $16 billion on that day. Now with the finals, they said the NBA is even more because you got way more games. Each season you got
that's
7
right.
games. You know what I'm saying? So you get the bet and you parlay, all that good stuff, right? But here's what we need to remember, right? When we are making that choice as to what it is that we're going to do with regards to the law of cause and effect.
Come on with it.
We got to remember, if Allah is Allah, and He is Allah, then that means He's what? Omnipresent.
Okay.
Y'all know what omnipresent means?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
That means He's present in all places at all times.
That's right.
Come on.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
They're with us now. If it's Allah, He's omnipotent. Omnipotent. That's a good word. I like that word. Omnipotent. That means He possesses power, unlimited power and authority over all things.
That's right.
That's right. Yes.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If he's omniscient. Omniscient. That means He has infinite awareness, understanding, and insight.
Wow.
Heavy. Yes, sir.
That's big, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So if He's all of those things, which He is, then He knows
He knows.
what we're doing. He knows what we're thinking.
Come on.
He knows when a thought pop up in your mind.
Come on.
He knows it. So here we are, struggling, right? With this law of cause and effect. Here we are struggling. Don't know why our life is the way it is. Don't know why we getting pulled over. Don't know why we getting DWAIs and DUIs and spending, a week in jail. Don't know why we are not supporting our families, brothers.
Come on.
Don't know why, we're depressed.
Come on. It's real talk.
It's real.
Don't know why, even though we're depressed, we have another drink
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
It's real.
and chop it up with our boys about how depressed we are
Oh, wow.
while we're drinking a depressant.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Isn't that
So real.
Tell them the truth.
Ain't that real?
Yes,
So
sir.
it makes sense.
Don't know why we overweight. Have no idea.
Don't even
I
realize.
don't know why I'm overweight.
Oh, come on.
Don't know why we might be normal weight, but we still unhealthy.
There you go.
Right? Don't
Yes,
know why
sir.
our blood pressure high. Don't know why we got headaches.
Right.
Don't know why, I just don't get along with this woman.
Come on with it.
Don't know why.
It's real talk. Yes, sir.
Right? Have no idea. I just don't get it. Well, brother, sister, what are you doing?
That's right.
Ask that.
That's the question. Like, what am I doing? If we're going to learn the law of cause and effect,
Yes, sir. Yes,
every
sir.
action, man, is going to produce an equal and opposite reaction.
Yes, sir. Come on. Yes, sir.
What are you doing? What did you do to get that policeman to stop you?
Oh,
It's all about you. What did you do?
What'd you do? Well, man, it was just a tail light.
Come on.
But why you get a DWAI or a DUI if it was just a tail light? Well, I just had a couple of drinks.
What happened was.
What had happened was, that's right.
That's it.
I just had a couple of drinks. I wasn't even drunk. I was just buzzing.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, sir. That's real talk.
Well, brother, the cause was, for one, you knew the tail light was out. You should have got it fixed.
there you go.
Come on.
Go to AutoZone, man, and spend $6 and get you a little tail light and pop it on in.
Come
You're
on.
going about your business.
Right.
That's it, bro.
Right.
Say that. Yes.
Because you failed to do that, the effect was you got pulled over.
Yeah.
You so controller.
You went to the club and I wasn't going to have a drink, but yeah, my man was there, you know what I'm saying? And we just had a couple, you know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Sir.
You're drinking poison.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what type of alcohol it is. I don't care if it's Miller Lite. It's still poison. Alcohol is a toxin to your body. Invariably. Because, like we said last week, the devil always talk about, man, just do it in moderation. If you're going to drink, just be responsible. Drink responsibly.
That's what they say.
Do it in moderation.
You drink with his father.
The fact of the matter is, and I was having this conversation with my son just yesterday. No matter how much you drink, if you drink a beer a day, if you drink a beer a week, If you drink 2 drinks a day, they say that's a moderate drinker if you drink 2 drinks a day.
Moderate.
Oh, wow.
At some point,
It's gonna catch up with you.
it's gonna catch up with you.
That's right. That's right.
At some point, I don't care how much you drink.
That's right. Go ahead, brother.
At some point, it's gonna catch up. I don't care how much you smoke.
Right.
Weed is from the earth, brother.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That part.
I'm gonna smoke tobacco. Nah, man. I just
part.
herb. Isn't tobacco a plant as well?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Come from the earth, don't it?
Yes, sir.
But it's all bad. You can't smoke. You can't take fire into your lungs.
That's right. Go ahead.
There it is.
In any way, shape, form, or fashion. You can't do that and I'd expect to have some health concern later on down the line.
Yes.
Well, brother, I don't smoke. I vape. See, that's not real smoke. That man, that vape, they got so much chemical in that vape.
Yeah.
That it's oil molecules attaching now to the inside of your lungs,
That's right.
causing your lungs to collapse.
Yes. That part.
You cannot do that which causes harm to the body and expect for it not to harm your body.
Come on.
That's right.
Because if you put poison in it, man, if you take some cyanide, you're gonna die.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? I mean, period. Man, look, if you take in some bad whatever, it's gonna have an effect on your body.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The saddest part about us, brothers and sisters, is we'll take care of our vehicle
More than
better than we
ourselves.
take care of our own body.
That's
That Lexus out there, man, shoot, I wish you would try and put some regular unleaded in my Lexus.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Get that oil changed every 3,000 miles.
Yeah, go ahead.
right.
Come on.
Because I want my vehicle to perform optimally, right?
Yes, sir.
That's
But
right.
man, I'm gonna drink me a 40 ounce of Old Lee. Did I drink a 40 ounce of Old Lee anymore?
Yeah.
Wine, whatever it is, I'm gonna smoke me a blunt. Yeah, we don't smoke joints like back in the day, little white little weed. Nah, man, we smoke blunts. You get a big cigar wrapper and
Go ahead. Go
weed
ahead.
in it.
Go ahead.
That is not moderation.
Man, we crazy as hell. Not understanding the law of cause and effect. It's gonna be all bad. We running around, right? We doing what we want to do, brothers. You know what I'm saying? We got all sorts of women on the slide. You know what I'm saying? We got her at home, you know, and we expect her not to say nothing.
Right.
Right? Don't say nothing. I'm a man. I can do whatever I want to do.
Don't do it alone.
You see what I'm saying? But if that's the cause, if we do whatever the hell we want to do, there's gonna be an effect.
Yes, sir.
Nobody gonna let you abuse them, man. They're not. Even if they appear to be submissive. Trust and believe. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret.
Come on, tell us the secret.
Are y'all ready?
Yes, sir. Come on.
Come on.
Men like to do what they want to do, right?
That ain't no secret.
And I'm not to expose this. Men like to do what they want to do, right?
Right.
You know, especially in this world. And they'll do it and they expect sister, you know what I'm saying, to just sit there. But here's the secret. She do what she want to do too.
That's right. That's right.
That's the secret.
Let's do it better.
That's the secret.
That part.
We just
That
do it better.
But that's the effect.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna going to just sit up. You're not going to have heaven in your home, brothers, if you're giving her hell.
That's right.
Period. The only way that you can produce heaven in her is that you give her that which her nature demands. And that is security.
That's
Come on.
That's a woman's nature.
Yeah.
So even when we're cutting up and telling them what to do, and we still paying the bills and whatnot, that's not security.
It sure is not.
See, security for the sisters, yes, that financial security, that's a huge piece. Don't neglect that.
Right.
However, the other piece in terms of security is she wants to know if she's your wife, that you are her husband.
That's right.
Are y'all listening?
Yes, sir.
So a husband takes care of a wife, not just financially, but mentally and spiritually as well.
Come on.
You have to be there for her. You have to be a husband if you expect her to be a wife. That's the cause. Be a husband. The effect is she'll be a wife. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Men, Allah has designed it. You know what I'm saying? We're not sexist up in here, but we got to keep it 100.
Please do.
Allah has designed it to where men, we're a degree above.
A slight degree.
A degree.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A degree has to be understood.
Negligible.
That's supposed to be.
This is a love.
A degree. You 99, she 98. Tell me what's the difference.
Yeah.
Still hot, right? Don't get it twisted. A degree. Just so what that means is we have to be leaders.
That's right.
Man, I gotta say that. I'm talking to myself now. This is something I had to learn too. You gotta be a leader in your relationship with your wife. You gotta lead. If you're
Yes,
not
sir.
leading, if you're leading by being in the club, man, the effect is gonna be. She's not going to the club though.
I know that's right.
It's gonna be with the trainer at the gym. Or,
There you go.
real talk, man. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah.
Choose wise.
So look, so likewise, if we are, or if we have a beautiful family structure and a beautiful relationship with our wives and with our husbands, if we have beautiful relationships with one another, that's an effect, right?
Yes.
The cause is that produce that particular effect is we are following the will of Allah.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
We're submitting ourselves to do the will of Allah, and we're doing unto that brother or unto that sister what we would want done unto ourselves. It produces that effect.
Yes, sir. Come on with it,
sir.
brother.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right. That's right.
Y'all listening?
Yes, sir.
Man, it's a beautiful thing, man. It is a beautiful thing. And the key, of course, is just to remember. Is to remember that Allah is always present.
Yes.
Always present.
He's omnipresent. And so if we, and knowing who we are, that crucial, that important knowledge of self, knowing that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that he didn't come to make a nation of followers, he came to make a nation of gods. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
If that's the case, and it is, then we have to walk accordingly.
Yes, we
I'm
do.
posted the perfect.
We have to walk.
You're always on the alert.
We gotta be humble in our prayers. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
We gotta follow the laws and the commandments of Allah that we all know. A lot of times we like to act like we don't know. We like to act like we forgot. Is that right? We like to do what we want to do instead of doing what Allah commands us to do.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
See, once we know, look, man, it's so easy. It's so easy Because we've been given everything that we need in order to master the law of cause and effect. That brother or that sister who's overweight, they may not know what to eat. Is that right? They might not know what times to eat. They know they shouldn't be eating as much as they eating though. Right?
Nature tell you that.
But the most honorable Elijah Muhammad has given us the key. Look, man, eat one meal a day.
There it
One
is.
meal a day.
Simple.
Yes, sir.
Eat one meal a day. And eat the right foods.
That's it.
Eat, I always like to say, drink some water. Instead of that Kool-Aid and that Red Bull.
Yeah.
Stay away from a lot of sugary drinks. Man, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has laid down everything it is that we need in order for us to be successful.
That's right.
No problem.
Come on.
He has given us everything that we need in order for us to ensure long health. Look, man, stop drinking and see what happens.
That's it.
You're going to extend your life. You absolutely are.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Because your body's going to begin to heal from all the, Allah so merciful.
Yes, he is.
It's going to begin to heal from all of the toxins that you put in it. You stop smoking, man. In 30 days, your lungs is going to look brand new.
That's real.
That's real talk.
Yeah, that's real.
That's science. I'm not making that up. That's real. But if you continue down that road, the effect is going to be death.
Yes, sir.
And the fact of the matter is that God has come. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
God has come to give us life and life in abundance.
Yes, sir.
So like the scripture says, choose life.
You and your seed.
Choose life.
Sir.
And that choosing will be the cause. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And the effect will absolutely be life.
Yes.
Man, y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. Man, I hope and pray. I really do that. This came over in the spirit that we wanted it to. But I'm gonna just say, as we realize that we have everything that we need, and as we realize there is nothing that we can't do. So it's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle. But it's like this. If we're saying that, and we do say this, and we stand on it, that you're made in the image and the likeness of God, that's exactly what we mean. What is it? Name me one thing that God can't do.
Cannot do it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Come on. Come on.
So if you're the God, if you're the mother of civilization, you see what I'm saying? And you absolutely are.
That's right.
Then to whatever addiction it is, you just gotta make up your mind.
That's
That's
true.
it.
That's
Say that.
real.
That's real talk.
But the other thing is you surround yourself with people who are of the same mindset.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because if you continue to be in the same environment that foster that sort of behavior that you're trying to stop, you'll never kick it. You see what I'm saying? If you continue to hang around those same people, you'll never kick it. But if you surround yourself with like-minded people who are on the same path of reading and writing and speaking to our own divine gifts, man, it's a room full of guys.
Yeah.
That's right. Come on. That's right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So food is, you know what I'm saying? Food is challenging because our natural inclination is to eat. But if you discipline yourself, and I'm not saying do it all in one day.
No.
This is what you do. If you're eating 3 meals a day, cut it down to 2.
Oh no, I eat liquor.
Okay.
So I eat more
Yes.
than I don't drink.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. But again, immersing yourself in that sort of, in this culture and around these type of people is going to be a great support for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and all you can do is try. You know what I mean? And like I said, build with like-minded people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And we with you.
Yes, ma'am.
We absolutely with you. Praise be to Allah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Praise be to Allah. Any other questions? That was a good question. Yes, ma'am.
So, brother, this is kind of on this subject, but it was something that it's a personal question to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, brother, Iman Sultan did Juma on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and something he pointed out that was really important because it does deal with cause and effect. But he said, and I'm paraphrasing it, so forgive me if I quote it wrong, but he was speaking about when we come in, you know, being Muslims to submit. So we just do the bare minimum, even if it's just the 5 pillars, we're just doing the bare minimum, but that doesn't make us believers.
Right.
So I just wanted, it's a personal question, when would you say you became a believer? Because he says a Muslim is one who submits to do Allah's will, but when did you become, do you feel like you became a believer?
All praise to Allah. That's a good question. I think that one becomes a believer, and I can only speak, of course, from my own experience. You become a believer when the only one that you can call upon is Master Farrakhan Muhammad, and he answers.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I thank Allah because I was faced with death.
Come on, come on.
Yes,
come
sir.
on, come
Go
on.
ahead.
And I called on him.
Yeah.
And I was good. You know what I mean? So I was locked in from that point. And that happened, you know, praise be to Allah, as a very young believer.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? As a very young Muslim, I had that experience.
Yes,
So,
sir.
and we all have our own. You know what I mean? That's unique to each and every believer. But there comes a point where it even gets beyond belief. Oh, you who believe, right? However, it's like sometimes you get to the point where you know.
Yes.
I know Master Farrakhan Muhammad is
Yes.
Allah.
Come on, come on, come on.
Yeah.
No.
Come on,
Yeah.
come
You know
on.
what I'm saying? So that all praise be to Allah. And you know that, and that's the vein that, of course, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan walks in. I mean, he's not saying this stuff that he's saying
Yes.
without knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows. I don't get the sense that he's a believer.
No.
That's too small of a thing for a man like that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, God.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Praise Allah. Any other questions?
Thanks for watching, you guys. We both love and appreciate you for doing so, but we need for you to take some action and do us 1 or 2 or maybe 3 more favors. And that is, go ahead and smash that like button, share it if you really dig the video, and also subscribe. That way you'll get a bell ding, a notification every time we post something, and it also helps us with regards to the algorithm that, you know, your people like to run. So go ahead and do that, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. Peace, everybody. It's your brother Herman Supreme Style Muhammad. Just wanted to drop in and let you know what we have going on. In addition to our community work that we've been doing for years, and in addition to being the sole proprietor of Supreme Style Barbershop, where we've been serving the community for close to 25 years, now we've partnered up with an insurance company called Ethos in an effort to help our people with life insurance. That's something that we all need. I know it's something that we don't want to think about, but it is something that we all need if we want to leave anything to our loved ones when we leave this space. So do me a favor, click on the link or go to our website astar2.com and click on the Ethos page. We'll see you on the other side.